So good morning, my lovelies. And just meeting me on your mat in whatever position you want to start with. We'll take a few minutes just to settle. If you're anything like me, I've had a busy morning, just busying and doing things. So it is a very welcome few minutes when perhaps we arrive on our mat. We don't go straight into the practice or anything. We just come back to ourselves for a moment. And it is the start of the practice. Slowing down, just listening to the breath, feeling the breath. Being in the moment that we're in the space and the time that we're in. And conscious of that as well. Having a few moments to also check in physically. And really be aware of what we need to be gentle with today, perhaps. Noticing areas in the body that have improved or don't feel so tight and tender. Just a few moments to just take stock of who and where you are. Have a moment to ground down, ground your energies. And just follow your breath, just the next 3 breaths. Just consciously follow the inhale and the exhale. And again, inhale. Exhale, noticing all the parts of the body that move. Inhale. And the exhale. And just enjoying that slowing down. The beauty also of yin is the quiet, silent spaces where we have room to think. Observe our thoughts, be the witness. And often we can become amused by our thoughts or perhaps even irritated by our own thoughts. But being aware is the main thing. So gently, if you're lying down, draw the knees in. Have a nice rock. We're going to join each other in a seated position. And for today's quiet meditation, I'd like to kind of practice something where we bless our chakras and really feel into the energy here. Quite often in yoga, we'll scan through and just sort of loosely bring an awareness to the area of our body. But it's quite nice to actually take some time, the 5 minutes that we sit here quietly, to rest and settle with that energy and then move up through our channel. So get comfortable and just relax. We can rest the hands in Dhyana Mudra. So where we rest them sort of in our lap, around the base of our spine. So let your eyelids close. Just tune into your breath. And start to rest your awareness on the area where the root chakra is, base of our spine. Perhaps you want to see a nice red energy here, a ball of energy or a rose. And so tuning into this center. And now I'd like you to expand your awareness to the area that surrounds this center. take your awareness wider. This center of feeling safe. And with gratitude, bless this root chakra. Drawing your awareness now to your sacral, just below your navel, perhaps tuning into an orange vibration. This area of relationships and emotions, fluidity. And now again, just expand your awareness around this center. So almost that awareness touches the root energy center as well. And I would like you to bless your sacral energy. Feel joy and love surrounding these energies. Bringing your awareness up to your solar plexus above your navel. And perhaps a beautiful, bright, sunny yellow comes to mind. Pinpoint this area within your body with your mind and begin to expand the energy. This center of self-worth. And perhaps as you expand, you feel it merging in with the sacral and the root. And now, deeply with joy, I would like you to bless this center. Bringing your awareness to your heart. And perhaps seeing a beautiful emerald or a nature green. Pinpointing our heart might be easier. And also now expanding the energy outwards from your heart, like ripples from a pebble in a pond. See the energy radiate and merge with the lower three chakras. And with unconditional love, bless your heart center now. Bringing awareness to your throat, pale blue or a turquoise. And again, a small area we can isolate. Expand the energy here. In your mind's eye, see it grow from this central point. Merge in with the lower chakras, creating a big field of energy around us. This center of your truth and the way you communicate. Take a moment and bless, with love and joy, bless this ability and this center. And now our third eye. Indigo or a purple might come to mind as you tune into the connection with your pineal gland. Expand the energy here. Allow it to merge with all the lower chakras, all connected. Perhaps even seeing colour in your mind's eye now. And bless this centre of intuition, this third eye that allows us to tune into things beyond our five senses, knowings that we can't always explain. And then finally, bringing your awareness to your crown. Above the top of the head, perhaps a violet or a white comes to mind, and expanding this energy. This energy now perhaps expands many, many feet or meters away from your body. You're almost in a bubble of expanded energy. And bless this center that allows all divine source energy to enter into our auric field. Blessing yourself with love, light, healing, and protection. Just repeat that. Give me love, light, healing, and protection. A lovely little mantra to live by. And then when you're ready, we can just gently blink our eyes open. And noticing how you're feeling after you have blessed all of your centers, blessing the crown all the way down. So we're going to come into our first pose, which is turtle. We haven't done this one for a little while. If this pose doesn't suit you, if it's too much, please adapt it or change into something that you can do. I sometimes like to have cushioning behind my knees so that it's not so much of a compression. If your ankles need a little blanket underneath, then that's beneficial. And perhaps you might want a block for your forehead. Just choose where you want to be. And we're going to come into this little ball. And we won't hold it for the full time. It is a pose that can be quite difficult to hold for a long time. This is a lovely pose for stretching the whole length of the spine, where our chakras start at the root, coming up all the way to the crown. This is also a lovely one for our bladder meridian, our stomach. Try to relax. Notice if you're pushing your abdominal muscles outwards. See if you can relax into the breath. If at any point you need to exit the pose, please do. Relax your shoulders and arms. Notice how you're feeling, whether you feel safe.
relaxing the tummy. Aware if your breath becomes quite shallow, and just slowing it down and deepening. Let's take one more breath. Bring our hands either side of our head, and then we can push up nice and slowly. The head has been very low in this little scrunched up ball. So take a moment as you come up, just pause, get used to lifting the head, and then we can unravel into Shavasana. So that was just about 4 minutes. Notice if that felt like forever or whether you could have actually stayed there longer. Sometimes it's quite nice to get into these poses. Your feet might be tingling where we've been pressed against the mat. And just enjoy the straightening out of our spine. Shins might be tingling, that is activating our stomach meridian. Perhaps the inner thighs as well, you're feeling it, and some sensation across the tummy up to the chest. Just following your thoughts. Wherever you feel sensation, you can link it where your chakras are. And then we'll bring our knees in. Let's have a little rock. I find turtle can be a little bit difficult to start with. Very strange to be in that position. But then after a while, it becomes sort of tolerable and actually quite comfortable. So now we're going to come into butterfly. And today I'm going to use just some support under the legs. Not that I always need it, but it's actually sometimes nice to know that you can just really let the muscles relax and not have to think about them even holding a little bit of tension or activation. And then we'll just lean forward and see what we feel today in this pose. Relaxing shoulders. In this pose, we can easily bring the breath to the belly. How does it feel as you gently surrender here?
What's going through your mind? What thought are you on just right now? Following your breath, really try and stay in the present moment as you consciously follow your breath. Notice if you can lean a little bit more into it now that everything's kind of softened a bit. Notice where your thoughts go in the quiet moments. So we'll take another breath here. Make it a lovely deep one. A slow exhale. And we'll lift up. Coming down. We're going to come into supported bridge next. So if you want to grab your block ready, it can be next to you. Lie down though for a few moments and just explore the after effects of butterfly. Have a nice sigh. Just enjoy being back on the mat. Relax the pelvis. Really try and let the muscles in your lower back soften, and then everything else usually knocks on and relaxes. Where can you feel chi? Perhaps around the pelvis, the tops of the legs, hip flexors. Keep softening. And nice deep breaths. Some poses you'll have a lot more kind of indication of chi flowing than others. So it's really nice to just stay with it a little while and feel the flow, the temperature or the tingling, the very subtle sensations we get. And it also amazes me how long it can take to really relax through the back of the body. So bringing these in, right one, left one. Take a moment here and just enjoy that lovely massage on the lower back.
And as always, just offering you whichever position you want to be in with a supported bridge, either on the top level with the block up, or just turn to the side if you're feeling like you just need to nurture a bit more today. And just choose where you want to be. There's times when I come onto the top one, times when I feel like I need to be lower. Wherever you place your block, make sure it doesn't encroach on the lumbar vertebrae, and it is just on that flat part of the sacrum. And I always say it's sort of almost in line with the top of the buttocks. You'll feel that little place where it can rest. And then just allowing the legs to soften. They probably fall outwards a little bit. Try to unclench buttocks and inner thigh muscles. And another place it always tends to mount up is the shoulders. Keep relaxing here in the upper back. And then when you feel everything is sort of softened a little bit, we can draw our awareness to our belly. Breathing gently here. Keep dropping the shoulders away from the ears. You'll find that they want to creep up. Relax the tops of the shoulders, back of the neck. Keep checking in with the legs and buttocks. How does this feel? Does it feel nice opening up through the front of the body? Lovely stimulation of the meridians that flow through the legs and then up into the front and trunk of the body. So just keep rotating awareness up to the shoulders and neck, relaxing. Do you like the pose today? Does it feel good or not so good? What's bringing up the feelings? So we'll take one more lovely nourishing breath. Feel the belly lift. And then slowly let's lift ourselves up. Just popping that block away, coming down. Being very gentle with yourselves as you come to the mat. And feeling that lovely sensation in the lower part of the back. So an area very linked with our sacral chakra and our root. A little bit of connection with our solar plexus perhaps, but very balancing for heart and throat. Aware of where you feel light or dense in the body. And then we'll bring our knees in. Just as everything fades a little. A nice rock here, and you can just feel that nice sort of release where you've had that block against the body. So with that bridge, we've worked with the lower back coming backwards gently. We're going to counterpose with caterpillar. So a seated pose where we come forwards. If you need support under knees, that's quite nice to have a little blanket there. Otherwise, if you're happy to, just gently leaning forward. Come into this slowly, especially after having been in bridge. You probably feel slightly tenderness or a sensation still there. So we can just gently soften into this forward fold. And again, this is a lovely one for our bladder, especially because it actually stretches the whole back of our body where the bladder channel follows. Each time we come into these poses, don't have any agenda as to how it should look or feel. Every time is a fresh sensation. Breathing to the belly. If you close your eyes, just tuning back into the meditation we did where all of our energy centers, we blessed them, expanded them, and their energy sort of all merged into one expansive field. Perhaps just in your mind, visualizing what this looks like to you. Breathing gently and deeply. Just explore whether you can soften into the pose more. As we sit here for this length of time, we can create space to stretch a little bit more. Sometimes it might surprise you how much movement you get. And with one more breath, we'll start to lift up slowly. Observing how it feels just to sit upright, and then we'll come down, just checking in with the back. How does your body respond to forward folds today, where we stretch the back, or backward bends, where we flex into the back and have more of a stretch through the front? How do you enjoy it in the pose and also after the pose? Even as you lie here, just checking in with where you're finding any chi sensation. And so we're going to come into a form of bench next. I will leave it to you to decide whether heart bench or just the normal bench lying over the cushion is the one for you today. So let's draw our knees in. Take a moment as you rock on your back just to think about which pose you're drawn to. And by all means, you can change if you want to. So bench, where you just lie over the cushion, just take it a few inches away from the back and lie back, or heart bench. I find, depending on how I am emotionally, I will choose, or how my body needs to nurture that day is how I'll make this decision. We're all different, so it's nice to have the option with this one. So lying back, either of these are lovely for our heart centre and our throat. Take your time if you're coming into heart bench just to find the right position. I often find if I just feel like I need nurturing more, I'll take the cushion and bench. But if I've had a hard day and back hurts, shoulder hurts, or I feel quite overly emotional, not in a bad way, but I know that there's stuff swirling around, then coming into heart bench is quite nice. It's a very balancing and evening out posture in an emotional sense. So whichever one you're in, just trying to relax around your neck
and allow it to be supported enough. And enjoying how the breath can freely move to the belly, up into the chest, and up towards our collarbones. It's actually a really nice pose to enjoy the 3-part yogic breath, where we breathe belly, chest up to the head. A nice way to stay focused, to be aware of our breath. So how do you feel here? Peaceful in the heart? The heart center is the middle chakra of that joins the lower 3 more material and earth plane with the 3 upper chakras, the more spiritual energies. So it's that lovely link between those sides of ourselves. And it's lovely to think of the heart center as the middle one, expanding out, encompassing all the other 6. Take the time as you lie here to have the opportunity to really give yourself some love. In whatever way it takes to conjure up the feeling of real deep love, whether it's for somebody else and then you reflect it inwards to yourself. Just bring up that feeling. The person you love most in the world. And then just try and reflect that feeling back on yourself. Let's take one last breath in this pose. And then just lifting your head slowly and using your arms to support you, coming up, and then move the blocks. Rolling down. And hopefully enjoying that after effect. As you lie here, it's really nice to think about the poses that we've done so far and which ones always give you that lovely feeling afterwards. Heart bench is one of those for me.
It just frees up everything, doesn't leave any real sensation afterwards that I have to think about. It's the one that does gives a lot of relief. Everyone will have their own pose that does that. We've all got our favourites. So bring the knees in. We're going to come into waterfall, which I know is a lot of our favourites. Let's have a rock. Grab your cushion. And we can just wedge it under the buttocks. Raise the legs. So very relieving on our heart as well. So in a very different way, this is a beneficial one for our heart energy. Great for releasing fluid that can accumulate around the feet and ankles and calves. Just have a lovely sigh. Draw your awareness to your third eye here. Again, that connection with our pineal gland. And focusing on your breath. Just let your breath be lovely and deep and slow and even. Which again just engages our parasympathetic nervous system. Focusing on the breath around the nostrils. You can often notice if it's a balanced breath, both sides, where the one's blocked a little. How does this pose make you feel? Is it one of your more peaceful poses? So we'll just gently bend our knees, lower our feet nice and slowly. Take a breath here, and then we can pull the cushion out. Have a few moments in Shavasana. Noticing any sensation that you feel here. Can you relax, or are you still sort of holding a tension or a structure through your back? See if you can soften. And then just deciding whether you want to come to seated or remain lying down. Let's have some relaxation now. Choose where you want to be. I feel drawn to the angel cards this morning. So all of you open your mind and thoughts to perhaps a message that has something for you. Oceana. And again, sometimes we have these cards over and over, but they'll mean something slightly different each time because you're a different stage in life and a different person in the moment. So this one says, take action. You're in touch with your truth in this situation, and you need to trust your gut and lovingly assert yourself. Dive right in. There's no need for more research or time. You can trust your feelings on this one. We will guide you through the actions that are necessary considering the circumstances. Your main concern is to avoid procrastination at all costs. Break the situation down into small steps so that you don't become overwhelmed. Then take those steps at regular intervals. You already know what to do about this situation, and you have made up your mind to take action. I am here to validate that your decision is on the path of light. Although there might seem some temporary hard work or emotional turmoil, this will soon be replaced by a lightness of spirit akin to gently floating on a summer breeze. Sometimes you may feel too emotional or too tired to take action. That is because you are unsure of the correctness of your decisions. Usually, unfounded guilt is the culprit that is draining your energy and happiness. This is when it is very important to call upon the angels to shore up your faith. Notice how the doors open smoothly with each step you take. That is one more sign that you are taking the best course of action. So a lovely little card to remind you that whatever decision you've made may be, or action that you're not sure to take, is to just go ahead. Sometimes we already know we've made a decision, and then we come back full circle and debate it. But actually we know our gut feeling. So as you lie here, return to that place of joy and love surrounding each chakra that you have blessed. And just see if you can float in this feeling for a little while longer.
so gently. Just notice what thought you were on just then and make it conscious. Take a few breaths. And we can start to just move our fingers and toes. Maybe roll the head or roll the shoulders if that feels nice. Looking forward to coming back into your day. And if you're lying down, have a lovely stretch now. And if you're seated, just moving however feels good. Enjoying a few more conscious breaths before we come into the day where most of it will be unconscious again. And you can roll up to seated. And when you're ready, just bringing your hands together, just have a moment to bless yourself and bless some others. Om Shanti. Namaste.